Okay, Reddit relationship advice. This was written by a man who we can't trust to tell us the true story. He left so much out, guys, and you'll see once we get into the comment section just how much this fella left out. My 37 male, unemployed wife, 35 female, won't do more house chores. Is this fair? She won't do more house chores. So she's doing house chores. He's saying she won't do more house chores. My wife and I have been together for 17 years, married for 10. So he got her way in the beginning. She's 35, 25, 17 years, way in the beginning. My wife's startup went under a year ago. It went under a year ago, and she hasn't bothered looking for a job since. I'm perfectly fine with her choosing not to work anymore, but I do think that the person who has more free time should do more chores. I work 3 12-hour shifts a week. Means he's off 4 days a week. But I do think that, while she sits at home playing video games, she does occasionally clean the house, but that happens once every few months while complaining that I'm not helping at all, and that she wants to split all the chores down the middle or alternate every week. I'd like her to cook more too, but that's been a fight. So she actually wants him to do more, and he wants her to take over his responsibilities basically at home. He's like, "You're at home, you should do pretty much everything, and I'm at work, I should do nothing." And she's like, "You need to do at least half of the work. Let's continue. I think splitting cooking and cleaning responsibilities is unfair since I'm the only one working and have less time on my hands, even though he has 4 days off a week." She thinks everything needs to be split since she's still paying half of the bills. We keep separate finances. And the only way she'd take on all of the household chores is if I take on all of the bills. It's another, ideology of 50-50. One person does all of the providing, the other person does all of the house maintenance and cleaning and such. It's not quite 50-50 though, because he only works 3 days a week anyway. But sure, okay. You know, we'll take it. This isn't fair to me since she has significantly more money saved up than I do. It doesn't make sense to me that I should pay all the bills when I'll never reach how much she has in her savings. So who's right? Is it more fair to split chores based on who has more time available or based on how the bills are being split? Edit. So many people are here obsessed with keeping score and are latching onto a comment I made about how my wife paid off my student loans, car, and house. To be clear, I didn't see this before. Okay, because it was in the comments. All right, so initially he just wrote that and left it. He didn't add any details, but here are the details. Now I thought it was just in comments, but no, here they are. Here they are. Okay, so basically he's saying my wife paid off my student loans, car, and she bought the house they're in. To be clear, there was less than half left to pay on my student loans. My car was a cheap Honda Civic, and the house is pretty modest. You all are acting like millions were spent. And if we're keeping score, what about how I supported her and let her live rent free with me when we were in college? I worked a part time job to support us, and she never had to work at all through school. The past is irrelevant because me and my wife aren't tallying up everything we've done for each other. No, you're not, buddy. The fact is, right now I'm working and she's not, and I'm fine with her never working again. So she shouldn't. So shouldn't the one not working do more chores? He added that in because basically he kind of painted the picture. He narrated a story of just some lazy woman. He didn't mention that she was working 60 plus hours a week in her tech startup. She was also cooking and cleaning a lot because apparently, and he doesn't want to confirm this, but apparently she was on a medication of some such, an upper, and it made her kind of like compulsed to do things and keep busy. And so while he was putting his feet up and such, she was cooking massive amounts of meals, cleaning the house top to bottom, and working 60 plus hours a week. And he never mentioned it in any of his in any of that Reddit. Even in the second update that he put, that like edit that he put, he still didn't mention it. But um it makes him look like he's guilty of something. And I'll say he's guilty of trying to use this woman for every drop of essence that she has. So this is a comment. So even unemployed, she's still the breadwinner. And even when she was working 60 hours a week, you did nothing. You live in her hours that she paid for. What exactly is there to split 50-50 that you can't manage alone? She literally paid off your student loans and you're still moaning about how much more money she has. This person says, you want a trad wife who does all the cooking and chores, then you better be a trad husband who works and pays for everything. That's a fair trade. Amen. Right? Amen. If she still has to pay half the bills, then she can do her half of the housework and you can do the other half. You want her to be a housewife and pay half the bills. Laugh my FAO F that. And then this person says he conveniently also left out that she is currently recovering from burnout caused by the high demand nature of her IT startup and the use of uppers that frequently accompanies such high demand professions. He never felt the need to voice his concern about her drug use when she was working 60 plus hours a week to bring in the big bucks, paying off debt and going on cleaning benches during her downtime. But now that she's no longer in that role and no longer using substances, he's concerned. He clearly cares for her very much. And here's the thing, he also never complains when she was doing all the housework and all the cooking. He didn't say, "Oh no, no, honey, no. I want us to be 50-50. Let's be, equal." He said nothing. Of course. He's only mentioning it now because he sees that she's relaxed and enjoying her time that she deserves. And he's annoyed because he feels as though she shouldn't enjoy anything and she should just keep working, serving, doing, and laboring for him. For what? Sir. But, yeah. Uh, This person says, as she recovers, I'm sure she will start to have a look at things in her life that helped her get here. OP will start to look like the dependent that he is. She also paid off all his debt, bought his car, and bought their house. He's an arse. So this person says, so it's fair that you split the bills 50-50, but not fair that she wants the chores to be split the same way? Come on. For those who haven't seen the comments, she paid off his student loans, car loans, bought a house for them, and did a majority of upkeep while working 60 plus hours a week. OP is a massive AH and still throwing tantrums about it and defending his dumb take while complaining having a house is costly. This person says, I don't think I've ever seen a post where household chores are based on financial contribution. If both parties worked, as he was like, well, I make more money than you, so you have to do more chores, everyone would be like, oh, that's not how it works. After reading some of the comments from OP, he's tricked into this post. He's trickled into the post. I have solidly changed my mind that OP is the user in the situation. Correct. I mean, to their point, if both party works, if you make more money, the other one has to do more chores. No, I don't agree with that. I think that, if everybody's working 40 hours, then, obviously in the home, it needs to be split. The thing is that her not working now doesn't matter because of all of the contributions that she's made. And also, this is his home too. He should do his fair share to keep it up, no matter what her hours are looking like now after she's gotten to a point of burnout. But he obviously is not The husband that is trying to like care for her and take care of her, he actually wants for her to take care of him in every way, even financially. And this is why I say, and I'll rest my case here. You guys can check out Reddit relationship advice if you want to see more about it. But, a broke man, a man with financial issues can quickly, whatever the word we want to use, turn into a liability. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful engaging in one of them because they'll start to look at you like they're a problem solver in whatever way or aspect, and or you'll end up doing too much um, because they have so little. So careful, careful there. Careful there. Anyway, Rebel, thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back with another video. Bye, guys.